Last week, we took a break from boat life so we could enjoy some R&R for our anniversary at Baker's Cay Resort in Key Largo, Florida. This week, we want to answer that burning question about boat life. How do we afford this? So here's the story of the Wandering Naps. We're a family of 5 from Texas. Chris and Jolene met in 2nd grade and started dating our freshman year of high school. We got married and moved to Texas. We had 3 boys, Carter, Chase, and Caleb. We loved to travel and fell in love with the water. We decided to sell everything and buy a boat and travel the Caribbean. After selling everything, we traveled coast to coast boat shopping. We finally found our new home in the Florida Keys. We spent 6 weeks in a boatyard, moved aboard, spent another 8 months in a marina, and finally moved off-grid and on anchor. Join us on our adventure.
So one of the questions we get a lot from people is, how do you make money, or how can you afford to do this lifestyle? For us, we've chosen to sell everything, which helped us acquire the boat, which is great, but we don't have this huge lottery nest egg that we get to survive on over the next several years. So I have to work my way through, or we have to work our way through our trip. So many things you can do. I'm fortunate I was mechanically inclined. At one point we were looking to do this lifestyle. I had a business, and I was trying to figure out a way that I could transfer what we were doing to an online and maybe travel while we were doing the business. That didn't work out. I ended up selling it, moving on, and I just got a job down here. I got a job doing what I wanted to do though. So I do snorkeling and diving, and I had to go get some certifications for that. So I spent a little bit of money to get the dive certs, and then got down here, found a job. And it's amazing in these small areas. I would say the Keys are definitely a small town, and the islands in the Caribbean, I've been told, are very much like this. If you're capable of work, they can't find enough good people. So it's funny, we make the joke at work, but if you just show up and don't act drunk, you can get a job. It's everywhere I go. People are, can you do this? Can you do that? It's very simple. So again, I'm blessed. I'm mechanically inclined. I can work on things. I've done boats, worked on boats. You've seen a lot of my videos that I do stuff. But you can do whatever you want. We know folks that charter their boat, that actually pull people onto their boat and let them take a trip with them for like a week at a time. There are other people that will charter their boat like for fishing, so they just take people fishing for the day. As you travel, there are places like I can work in the Virgin Islands, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico, being a U.S. citizen. So you can just show up just like you could at any other place in the United States and look for a job. It just depends on how long you want to stay somewhere. Set yourself up in a lifestyle where you have minimal expenses, minimal debt, minimal monthly expenses you got to turn every month. The less that is, the more free you are. And so that's what we've been trying to do. I'm currently at my job. I work on a snorkel boat. I do snuba, parasail mate. The trick with being able to finance or being able to do this lifestyle is honestly just having the right attitude and being willing to work and do whatever job. Wherever we've been traveling, I've never had a problem finding a job because I was willing to work and work harder than anybody else. If that's all you did, you would be just fine. You can find work anywhere.
We interviewed one of our friends who's a fishing boat charter captain here in the Keys, and we want to share with you some of the ways he uses his boat to make money.
All right, so I'm Nathan Grave, and I'm a charter captain in Islamorada, Florida. I've not always done this. I used to own a courier up in Minneapolis. We moved here about coming up on 3 years ago, right around Irma time.
So what kind of certifications or training did you need to be a charter captain?
So it depends on what water you're in. Like if I had been a charter captain up in Minnesota, all you need is a guide's license. But being that we're in, federal international waters, ocean waters, it's a lot more complicated. You need, at a minimum, what like they call your six-pack license, which is a OUPV, which is an operator of an uninspected passenger vessel. You have to do, basically it takes like a week of studying and then 4 tests. You got to pass that. Once you pass that, then you actually have to do lots of paperwork, like Coast Guard physical. You have to do, like get your TWIC card, which pretty much allows you to operate in and out of ports. Let's see, your first aid, CPR. There's actually quite a bit of stuff. It's good. They make it so it's not super easy. They make it so you really kind of do have to know your stuff a little bit and actually have to put in some work for it, which I appreciate, so not just anyone can go and get a license. I love to show people how to fish. I'm not just like, here's a spot, put your rod down. My goal really is to actually like show someone like, hey, you could actually go and do this. Like give them the confidence they could go and do it on their own. But at the same time, I am trying to entertain. Like my goal is like top shelf service, like really blowing people's like minds away. That's what I love to do as best I can every day. And if I don't hit that, I don't drink the Red Bull that's in my cooler, which I don't drink until I feel good about the day.
And what kind of fish do you catch?
I mean, here in the Keys, we're catching snapper, grouper, but you got to remember we also have lots of different species within subspecies of snapper, subspecies of grouper, mahi, sailfish, mackerel, 3 different kinds of mackerel. Some people want cuda, sharks. There's a lot of different fish you can catch down here.
Thank you for sharing what you do and how you do it and how to utilize your boat to make money. Any last words of wisdom?
Just get out there and do it. It's not going to do it itself. You just got to get out and make it happen.
Another option, of course, is just working online, which is what a lot of people do. There are many different types of online work. I taught English online through a company called VIP Kid. There's a lot of other people who do multi-level marketing companies or have their own tech company online, or so many other options that I'm not even going to be able to explore right now. But that's another option that you can do in order to continue to have this lifestyle and create and generate an income. Of course, then you have to have internet access, which in the Keys or in the States is not a problem. In the Bahamas, it's also not as difficult as it may be traveling farther or offshore. You just need to buy a SIM card in each of the different countries that you visit and then pop it into your international phone or unlocked phone. And then you can always use a hotspot, but then you have to make sure that it's good enough quality internet. So that's definitely something you need to explore to make sure it's what you can do for your job. Funny story, I went out to eat lunch one day with my folks up in Oregon, ran into the mother of a high school friend of mine who mentioned that her sister now lives on a boat. So we got to spend the day out on the water here in the Florida Keys with her sister. They actually charter their catamaran for their income. That's how they live on their boat. And we've met many couples that do that. So we'll leave a couple links below in the description of different people that Okay, now that we've kind of got your creative juices flowing and you've got some ideas of how you're going to make money when you live on your boat, I want to give you a little bit of some specifics. So Chris mentioned that he got all these certifications. Last summer when we were boat shopping and living in Tampa in a hotel, he decided while we're boat shopping in between, we're living in a hotel, we really have nothing to do. So he took 2 weeks and he got all these certifications. They're about $400 each for his open water, advanced open water, and his rescue diver, all within about a 2-week period. And then throughout being here in the Keys and taking people scuba diving and snorkeling and diving here, he was able to get enough dives in, so now he's getting his dive master certification here in the Keys. And depending on where you go, your dive master certification will cost you anywhere from $1,000 to about $1,500. That does not include your dives that you needed in order to get up to that ability. So you need 60 dives. I'm not sure how much those are going to cost depending on where and when you go. Another thing he can do with that is that now he can work at any dive shop around town and he can take out customers diving. Another certification that we're currently working on is getting our captain's licenses, which is not required for boating. It's not required to owning and operating our vessel. However, we are doing it because then that way as we travel through the Caribbean, we will be able to have just all these certifications which make us more hireable. So if there's a resort or an excursion and they want a captain to captain their boat, we have that already under our belts. All of this to say, we know that as we travel the Caribbean, our plan, like Chris said, is to just work as we go. We know there's regulations, we know that there's work permits, and we will be doing a lot of investigating and looking into that as we go. But that is our plan, so hopefully this has given you some ideas. There's so many different options that we have not even explored yet or mentioned. There's so much to do online work. There's so many other industries that we're even not aware of. But if you can get yourself a lot of skills, get some certifications, and just be willing to work, you're going to be great. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching. Next week, we're going to tell you about what all broke on the boat. Bye.